we're a little bit out of time, but I think that we deserve to have the opportunity to ask these guys some questions. Would you come up here and have a seat? Are there any questions? Yeah.
Talk to us, if you would, a little bit about the use of focused ultrasound in MS.
I don't think these people are prepared to do that. Okay, sorry. You can go to our website and get the information about that. That's a long shot, but it's worth investigating.
Neil, can you hear me?
Yes.
How do you get it to be mainstream until the insurance companies accept it? It seems like a catch-22.
It's a catch-22. Getting insurance reimbursement is hard. To the credit of the insurance companies, they want to see long-term results. But not to their credit. The other part of their equation is they say, we're not going to approve this for reimbursement unless you show that a large number of patients have been treated. Well, you can't treat a large number of patients unless nobody's going to pay for it. So that's the world we live in. It's one of the many impediments or obstacles that we are struggling with, and we will overcome.
Part of the answer is to be a gadfly. You keep on asking for approval, and at some point they do the calculation that it's easier to approve the procedure than it is to pay the cost of an external appeal. So if you keep on doing that process over and over, their accountants tell them it makes sense to start approving things. Same thing has happened for radioembolization, which is a standard treatment for cancers to the liver now. They have to go through the same process. Same process happened for uterine fibroid embolization. The two areas that I'm aware of where they had to go through this process of asking over and over and over again until somebody cried uncle. The insurance companies cried uncle.
To put it in perspective, the insurance companies make the malpractice lawyers look like our best friends. A question over here.
Yeah, we got there. It wasn't a question, it's an observation. And that is, I think that this has been an incredible informational thing. And as I sit here and watch it, and I'm not that old, I'm only 82 now, and been around here for a while, the issue here is, can we squeeze people or the government or somebody else to make things better? Now, I hate to say it, I think they're doing a fairly good job. I know these gentlemen up here are doing a great job. And I just think sometimes our expectations exceed reality. And all I'm saying is, I think we just have to keep looking, keep trying, keep going, and hey, we're here.
Yes. There's a question there.
When, am I next?
Yeah.
When you're attacking a tumor, do you focus your ultrasound right at the middle of the tumor, or do you have to have repeated attacks all around the perimeter of it to get rid of the tumor?
I'll try to answer your questions. The main aim should be destroy the whole volume of the tumor. Sometimes it cannot be possible because the risk of harming the very close structures that are very sensitive. And it happens in the pancreatic cancer of the head because there's a lot of sensitive structures. However, what we know is that the overall survival in patients with pancreatic cancer, but it happens even with other tumors, is related to the amount of the tissue viable. And think about this as a non-invasive approach, so it could be even repeatable. It is not like a resection that sometimes cannot be repeated. So it means that we may have two different options. One, if the immune system activation has been in some way promoted by the immunotherapy, we don't need to destroy completely the tumor. We need just to treat some part of the tumor for immune system activations. Or we can just treat the majority of the tissue and the patient will benefit. Even because for pancreatic cancer, again, is a big killer. So we do not have any very good options for those patients. We may think about to put the HIFU or the focused ultrasound within the treatment strategy. So now in oncology, we don't talk about therapy, but treatment strategy. And treatment strategy means multimodal approach to the tumor for prolonging survival of patients. So in this way, we can treat the tumor, not the whole volume, because the first issue is safety.
Other question?
Neil, is there anything being tried with the treatment of atheromata in large vessels?
Yes. They're not only lysing atheroma, dissolving atheroma, hardening of the arteries, but also unblocking, removing blood clots. Yeah.
Question. Have you all done any trials with the focused ultrasound on throat cancer?
There is a first trial in Toronto of head and neck cancer that has just started. The first patient has just been treated.
Oh, here we go.
If you wanted to have focused ultrasound treatment of pancreatic cancer, would you have to go to Italy to have that done?
Or China.
Unfortunately, it is not approved in the United States. And yes, I may say in Europe, not in Italy, in Europe or in Asia. There's so many
Paige, do you have a
centers.
comment about that?
Sure. We're trying to raise funds to set up a clinical trial here in the United States to start doing this with MR guidance. It's a matter of finding the funding.
Could the initial evaluation to see if focused ultrasound was a viable option be done here in Charlottesville?
Absolutely. Two more questions.
Neil, you've played a really catalytic role in advancing this technology of really world historical significance and applicability. But one can't help but wonder how it is that a small foundation with less than a $10 million budget a year could play such catalytic role involving research and clinical trial with universities all over the world, and especially in this country, with tens of billions of dollars in endowment. I understand that focused ultrasound is in the initial stage still in terms of its application. But still, there are efforts in recent history of these massive universities with massive endowments coming together to try something new in its nascent technology, such as massive online classroom instruction and other things, which pull together more than hundreds of millions of dollars. So I'm wondering what's going on here. Is there any possibility of universities collaborating to help this technology, which is so terribly important?
Yeah, well, we spend a lot of our time and energy and money forging collaborative relationships. And unfortunately, collaboration is not a natural state in biomedical research or medical device development. But we're changing that, and you're absolutely right. Everything we do involves collaboration, and everything we do is open source. We oblige people to share, so we're headed in that direction. The amount of funding coming from other sources like NIH and disease-specific foundations is increasing fairly rapidly. So we're just, as I said, at at the beginning of the inflection point of this curve. And we designed the foundation intentionally to be a catalyst, not to replace NIH or one of the large foundations, but to be the catalyst. And thus far, that strategy, by virtue of hard work and risk-taking and innovation and luck and timing, is working.
Somebody made the comment, expectations are greater than reality. I'm reality. I had focused ultrasound last August, and the quality of my life has dramatically changed. I had it for essential tremor. And I just wanted to get up and say, hey, I'm the real thing. I've had it, it worked.
Well, thank you all for your time and your attention. Sooner or later, everyone in this room, or one of your loved ones, or one of your friends, is going to develop a serious medical disorder. When that happens, think about focused ultrasound. Focused ultrasound is the most powerful sound you will never hear, but it's a sound that someday could save your life. Thank you.